28,000 subscribers. A number that, honestly, I bet a lot of you can imagine. But it's still a number that most people don't reach. It's a number that is underestimated, undervalued, and unappreciated. But I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much that I've decided to do something special just for that. And I will always keep in my heart the beauty of this number. Until I reach the next milestone, in which case then I'll probably forget about it. Okay, so we just reached 28,000 subscribers the other day, so I asked you guys to send me your questions that you might have for me. I do this every once in a while, like maybe like every 6 months or whatever, or you can just ask me questions on my Sunday live streams, which is fun. Or you can just ask me your questions on my Sunday live streams, so, you know, whichever one works, so... With that being said, let's get into it. I've also noticed some of you asked multiple questions. I'm only reading one question per person, so if there's a question you don't see here being answered, then sorry, you got your one question. Name! It's name. I'm honestly surprised you guessed it. Holy crap. Okay, so my real name is Daryl Wayne Razor Jr., but that's my father's name, and I prefer going by DJ. Why don't you make videos about TV or just any popular show that's out there? I mean, there's just so many, and there's just a lot that, frankly, I just don't have any interest in watching or reviewing and stuff. Like there's just so many shows out there that have great reviews about them already, or everybody's already talking about them. Like Velma, for example. I've had people ask me the last couple of days, are you going to make a video on Velma? And the answer is no, because I have no interest in watching it. From what I've heard, from what I've seen... It's exactly what I thought it was going to be. It's in the same vein as shows like Big Mouth and Brickleberry. Just an adult show that cares way more about being adult than good. So I'd have nothing to say about it. It just looks about as generic as you would expect for a show like that. I don't care. Has there ever been a show or movie that you felt like you were too harsh on or too nice when you reviewed it? Actually, yeah. Well, actually, there's two for both of them. The first one where I was too harsh on, I think, is The Bad Guys. I think I remember I reviewed that when it first came out, and I was like, oh, that was okay. I didn't think it was anything special, but outside of the animation was the best part of it. But story and characters, I wasn't too fond of it. I mean, I thought it was okay. That's about it. But then I rewatched it, and I was like, this is a lot more fun than I thought it was. It's actually a lot more fun than I gave it credit for initially. I remember there was that musical number in the middle where they're all dancing, just having a good time, and I'm like, damn it, that's a good song, and it's a fun sequence. I might come back to The Bad Guys for a full-on review. I might do that. And the other one, where I was too nice, is the Rescue Rangers movie. I have grown to kind of hate that movie over the last couple of months. Like, it's kind of funny how after that movie came out, it kind of just vanished and nobody was talking about it anymore. The more I thought about that movie, the more I realized, yeah, that movie is a lot more flawed than I gave it credit for. It definitely deserves another review in itself. So, if you ask me, that old review I made back in May or June or whatever, I kind of consider that video madly outdated. Like, I don't care anymore. It's just, ugh. What is your favorite video that you have made? That's a good question. I think, if I could be honest with you, I actually really was proud of the Pinocchio 2022 review. You know, the live-action Disney remake one. Like, that was supposed to just be like a short 10 to 15 minute thing to just get out there, to get my thoughts out there. But the more I did some research on it, and then I discovered that documentary about the production of that movie, and it just kind of added on to the video, and like, I was really proud of that video, and I was really happy it ended up being very successful. It had a sponsor on it. It had it made over 50,000 views. I was so happy. Like, that's like, I gotta be honest, that might be one of my best videos I've ever made. I love that video so much. It's like, it's one of the few videos that I look back on and I go, I don't know how I would have changed something or updated it or fixed this, because with every video I make, there's always like one or two little things here and there where I'm like, I wish I could go back and fix that, like maybe add another edit or like cut it up a bit and make it less awkward maybe. But no, not for that video. That video was actually really good. I was really proud of that video, so I guess that's the answer. Ever wanted to make a top favorite movie video one day? I mean, that would be really hard to make, honestly. I don't know what my favorite movie of all time would be. That would be a very difficult question to answer, you know? I don't know, man. I'm not sure how I would make a video like that. I mean, if I want to talk about a movie I love more than anything, I'll just make a review about it. But as for a ranking video on all my favorite movies, I don't know how on earth I would even begin to make that, because it's really hard to pick. You know, I don't know how to pick that. You know, I don't know. Is it taking so long to make because it's the movie you hate more than anything? Yes. I had a lot to say about Bright. It's looking like it could be well over an hour and a half. It's going to be longer than the Dragon Ball Evolution review and the Big Hero 6 Season 2 review, which both of those videos were an hour and a half long. So, yeah, that's... I'm not holding back on Bright. It's getting exactly what it deserves. So will you try Steven Universe related content in honor of the series' 10th year? And if you love the show or hate it? I don't know. I mean, I used to love Steven Universe. I won't lie. I used to love Steven Universe so much. But as the years have gone on, and then I watched Owl House, I realized that Steven Universe is more flawed than I initially thought. It's like, I still love Steven Universe. There's a plane. Jesus Christ, is it about to crash? Thanks, plane man. But no, I used to love Steven Universe. But then I watched Owl House, and like, with the way that Owl House was paced and more laser focused on the actual narrative, like with Steven Universe, I've noticed it, looking back on it now, it cares a bit too much about the messages to a point where it kind of loses focus on its narrative. You know what I mean? There's also a shit ton of filler that you never asked for or don't care about. It's like Steven Universe has a lot of filler, and it's got its focus in the wrong place, I think. But with Owl House, it's like, oh my god, the fact that it's able to get the message across and keep focus to the story and the character development, it's like, oh my god. It's like Owl House is honestly really superior to Steven Universe, despite having a shorter runtime and being butchered by Disney. It's like, man, it's crazy. Like, it really does make me think about it. So maybe I'll make a video on Steven Universe in the future. We'll have to wait and see. What's your opinion on Darmon? Personally, I despise him. Not because he has more subscribers than me, but YouTube keeps blessing his awful and dangerous messages, while channels like yours and Ackman's get shit on. That's simply because Razor and the Ackman are too based. Damn right. As for Darmon, or Dareman, or however you say his name, I've never heard of him. Like, I have never heard of that name before in my whole life till now. I'm sorry. I don't know what he is at all. What have been some of your favorite moments in terms of editing with that wonderful avatar art you use in your reviews? I have a whole video of my favorite moments, the 2022 Out of Context video that I uploaded last month. That was not determined to be ad-friendly by YouTube, for reasons they never gave me. Thanks, YouTube. Would you ever meet virtually with patrons? I was thinking about maybe doing, like, an Omegle meetup video, you know, kind of like in the vein of those old PewDiePie videos. You remember back in the day when PewDiePie met fans on Omegle? Like, I don't even know if Omegle's still a thing. I think Omegle's still a thing. Like, would you guys be down for that? An Omegle meetup video where, like, I meet up with fans and talk to you guys? Because I think that'd be kind of cool. Again, I don't know if Omegle's even a thing. Like, if it's a thing, then I'm totally down for it. But if it's gone and there's another website for it, then... like I said, the option's on the table. Ever thought about doing a video on your favorite characters? I have one video planned in mind for a character that I wouldn't say is my favorite, but it's more of a character I think was severely underutilized. And if you see my new YouTube banner, you can actually try and guess which character that is. So, you know, have at it. Do you watch any Godzilla or monster movies? If so, what are your favorites? Honestly, I've never been the biggest fan of the monster movie stuff. You know, it's never been for me. Not really. I've seen the ones made here in America. Like, I saw the 2014 Godzilla movie. I saw Godzilla vs. Kong. I saw those movies. I guess if I had to pick Godzilla vs. Kong, because it's like, it knows what it wants to be. It doesn't give a shit about the characters or, like, a big story or anything like that. It's just, it knows what it is. It knows what it wants to do, which is just have monsters beat the shit out of each other. And for what it is, it does it well. It's a lot of fun. Like, the effects are pretty good. You made me do that. It's a lot of fun. The effects are really good. Like, it's all around a fun movie. I actually enjoyed it. So, you know, I guess that's my pick. What are some of your favorite film scores, and are there any you like to listen to isolated from the movie? I remember when 1917 came out, I was in love with that movie score. Especially the final score, without spoiling how the movie ends. Like, watching the scene where our main character, like, walks back to the tree which the movie began with them under a tree. So having him walk back onto another tree and sitting down with the beautiful orchestra that was playing and everything. I'm so glad the movie was... I think that score was nominated for an Oscar that year. I think it was. I love that score. There's also How to Train Your Dragon. You know, the Forbidden Friendship score is one of the greatest scores ever created by basically any animated film, basically. John Powell really knocked it out of the park that time. What's your favorite and least favorite episode of Green Eggs and Ham? I know my favorite episode was Season 1, Episode 10. This was the episode where Sam admits that he's an orphan to Guy. They're sitting in the tent and they're having their talk. And I just think everything about that scene is perfect. Like, the pacing of it, the voice acting, the orchestration. It's just a perfect scene. And the way it tied in Green Eggs and Ham with a natural narrative and actual character, it's like, it was so perfect. I love that episode. As for my least favorite episode, probably like episode, I don't remember which one it is. I think it's episode maybe 3 or 4 of season 2. It's the episode where Sam's with his mom and they're in the boat and Sam was just being really fucking obnoxious. I really hated that. It felt like they really just forgot how to write Sam as a character. And on top of that, he was just really unlikable in that moment. And I was like, my God, they really fucked this up. You know, it gave me such a really bad taste and it made me really worried for the rest of the season. But like I said in my review, fortunately they fix him halfway down the line and he starts getting good again in the second half of the season. So, but yeah, I guess if I had to pick, that would be it. Did you watch the new Owl House episode for the future? And if so, did you like it? I guess I liked it. I mean, I know it got treated like shit, and I understand that not everything can be developed. It has that sensation that there's just too much going on, and again, I understand why it feels like that. There's all these other characters that just never got spotlight, and you can tell from like the credit images, they were supposed to get their own episodes. They were gonna have development of their own on the side, but that's never gonna happen now. Thank you, Disney, for hating gay people. It's just really, it's so disappointing, but at the same time, I get it. You know, I can't get mad at the show for it because obviously the show had the plan for it, and then Disney just came in and said, no, you're too gay. No, fuck you. It's just, it sucks. I mean, the episode was good. I mean, Hunlo was very cute. I fucking love Hunlo. They are my ship now. I love them. They are king and queen. I love them. Overall, I did like it for what it is, and considering the situation, I do give it a pass for its mistakes. But, man, I can't help but feel like it should have been better, you know? It really, really should have been better. That's all I have to say. What do you think of Mike Eep, Taye Diggs, Dion Cole, and Tyrese? I know who Tyrese is. He's in the Fast and Furious movies, but I don't know who the other three are. I've never heard of any of those other guys before. Besides, I have no thoughts on them. They're actors. Like, I don't know who they are. It's like, I don't try to have like a messiah complex for like actors and stuff. At least not as much as I used to. Because that's, by the end of the day, they're just people doing their jobs. That's all they really are. You know? I don't have any thoughts on these people. I don't even know half of these people at all, so there you go. Ever thought about getting into more foreign animated content? Reviewing movies from animation studios from other countries? I mean, depending on how good or bad the movie is. I mean, if the movie is in my radar, then I really don't care where it comes from. I can just say, if it's interesting to talk about, if it's really good, really bad, or it's interesting, and either way, I'll talk about it. It really doesn't matter to me. Would you consider this movie to be more damaging to Will Smith's career than the slap heard around the world? It's funny you bring that up because Bright was actually supposed to have a sequel to it, but it got canceled because of the slap heard around the world, which is hilarious. So if you ask me, technically, it actually helped his career. Depending on how you see it. Besides movie reviews, do you plan to make other videos like the How Would I Fix videos, gaming videos, or something new? I'm not saying you should stop making reviews, just asking as a fan. You rock. Thank you, Blue Girl. I appreciate that. As for the How Would I Fix, that's not coming back. That was an experiment that I tried a couple of years back. And because I don't want to be a YouTuber that does the same thing over and over again. I want to be able to experiment and be able to try new things. And whether they work out or not, that's fine. I want to try new things and see how they work and how other people react to them. Like, I remember I tried doing some singing back, like, about a year or so ago, and that didn't work out because I honestly don't think I'm that great of a singer. I think I'm much better a drummer than a singer, but I don't have a drum set, so I can't make drumming videos. But then, the more I thought about it, I realized, like, I can talk about how I would fix a movie while I'm reviewing a movie anyway, so what's the point of a how would I fix? Like, it really doesn't matter. So, yeah, that was just an experiment I've honestly lost all interest in, and I just have no real desire to go back to it, so sorry. As for anything else, like I said, if I'm in the mood, I'll make it. If not, whatever. Best villain of either a show or movie? Death. Death is the best, boy. Alright, moving on. What are your thoughts on Has Been Hotel or Hell of a Boss? I enjoy it, and I definitely respect it for what it is. I mean, the fact that someone was able to make an animated show with as great animation as it has and put it on YouTube of all places and get as much attention and love as it gets, that's absolutely extraordinary. It's not a perfect show though. There's definitely issues to it that I think Just Stop pointed out in his video of it, so I highly recommend you check out his video. But with that being said, I definitely like it. I do like it, and I respect it for what it is. But it's definitely not flawed, that's for sure. If you could kill one dragon, it could be a species or just a single dragon, the whole How to Train Your Dragon franchise, who would you kill? I would wipe out the entire Nightlights. I mean, they're inbred, they're probably not able to function 100% physically. So, yeah, it might be doing them a service, you know, yeah. Alright, that's all the questions we got today. So, yeah, like I said, I know some of you asked multiple questions, but I want to stick to just one question per person. But like I said, I'm doing live streams every Sunday now. So if you guys have more questions, you can, you know, feel free to shoot them there on those live streams. I do them every Sunday. But with that being said, thank you so much for the questions. Thank you so much for 28,000 subscribers. It's truly wonderful, and I really very much appreciate it. The Bright video, I'm about an hour in at the time of me recording this video. So hopefully I'll be done by this weekend. Hopefully. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Thanks for the questions. And as always, I will see you in the next video when I make it. So stay awesome, guys. And as always, rock on.